how much will 1,000 XRP be worth? I recently made a short and I went through what one XRP will be worth in 2030. And the short kind of blew up. Short form content does that, but I figured people might want to see that in longer form and maybe with 1,000 XRP, because I think most people watching this channel can probably afford 1 XRP. Some people want to stack over time, and if they get 1,000, that's a pretty good goal for a lot of them. Recently, I talked with an XRP creator, someone that focuses on XRP, and he said really you should be focusing on 10,000 XRP. So maybe we'll do that in the future, but I think everyone has to get to 1,000 obviously before they get to 10,000, unless you just one clip $30,000 into XRP. So let's go through what it would take, what it's cost in the past, what that would be equivalent to, and then what it takes today to buy that, and then what it will be worth in the future. Before we get started though, if you don't mind, hit subscribe so you can see future videos like this. If you want to trade XRP, if you think it's going to go up a lot this bull run, you can get access to leverage. Using the link underneath the video to BYDeFi, you can sign up and start depositing. You can deposit XRP on the platform, and you can actually trade XRP and trade it with XRP. So you can get rewarded in XRP tokens. If you think XRP is going to go up a lot and you use leverage, you can get rewarded in tokens if you are correct. And right now they have a special bonus going on right now. Actually, this is fantastic for everyone watching this. Trade and earn up to $10,000 worth of XRP. So even if you make zero from your trades, let's say you just trade and then you make a couple dollars and then you lose a couple dollars and back and forth and you net out at zero, you will get paid XRP tokens just for trading. And the more you trade, the more you get for free at the end of this cycle, at the end of this 12 days. So check this out underneath the video. I also have a link to my Telegram. I have gotten an XRP video taken down recently. Hopefully that doesn't happen with this video, but if that happens in the future, I do upload them to Telegram, and it's just a Telegram chat. There's not like a back and forth. It's not scamming or anything, but you can check it out underneath the video. Now, let's go over to CoinMarketCap to look at XRP from a while ago. So let's go back 2 cycles. 2017 XRP. We're not looking at like 2014 when it was just a fraction of a penny or anything like that. We're not going to cherry pick the best time. Let's just go back like the last 2 cycles. So 2017, around July. You can see in July it was like 20 cents, 15 cents, 25 cents. This is after a pretty decent pump. We had pumped all the way up to 30 cents or so. And then we started to come down. We consolidated a little bit, chopped sideways. But this is when it went up like 60x. So let's not cherry pick the best time, but let's just say you got in at 15 cents. 1,000 XRP back then would be worth about $150 or about the same as a Keurig back in the day, a Keurig coffee maker. Now, it's worth a lot more, but you could have bought for $150, even if you didn't time it perfectly, even if you didn't buy it half of a penny. And of course it went all the way up to like $3.30 or $4, and you would have, it would be worth a lot, but let's say you didn't sell, right? You would still have a lot more money today because we're right back towards those prices. Now, what if you had bought 4 years later at the next cycle, like during the bull run? July of 2021, XRP was worth right around 50 cents or so, 55 cents. So, one token was worth about a pound of bananas. Back in 2017, it was worth like one Crayola crayon. 1,000 would cost you about $550, which is about the cost of an iPhone 12 mini. So yeah, it obviously went up in price about 4x or so during this time period, but it definitely has like boom periods where it explodes and then comes down drastically, and then another boom and then comes down drastically. Now it would cost you about the cost of a cup of coffee for 1 XRP token, or about $3,200. So maybe the cost of like 4 or 5 nights at a nice all-inclusive in the Caribbean or Mexico. So definitely has gone more expensive. If we continue to do this, right, like 2017, depending on when you're looking, but July, let's say, to 2021, about a 4x. Since then, we had about a 6x. So every 4 years, 4 to 6x, let's call it another 5x. That would put the price of 1 XRP token at $15, which You know, that's a large market cap, to be clear. That's almost $1 trillion market cap, but we're just basing it on what's happened in the past. Don't hate me in the comments. It could be wrong. But let's say it's $15. And actually, I have an expert's opinion on this that I'll play here in a second, but then we'll get to like the more bullish scenario. Let's say 2030 happens. It's worth $15. That's about the price of pizza for one token, mind you, one token. Or, you know, for 1,000 tokens, that's the cost of a nice used car. Now, we'll get to the more bullish scenario, but first I want to play you what Levi just said in a clip when I talked to him, giving his bullish thesis on XRP, not for 2030, but for this cycle. Do you have a price target on XRP this cycle? This is the juicy part. This is what everyone wants to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. I think like there's obviously a lot of factors that go into that, but like I think in like kind of like a bullish case scenario, if like XRP ETFs go well, if like the Fed starts lowering rates like decently soon, like I would say within the next few months, like we start getting some rate cuts, and we also see like the hidden road acquisition from Ripple actually start to, you know, do all this stuff. Like if we get all these bullish things that are in the works already to like actually come to fruition, I do think that a $20 XRP is a realistic price target. And I've done the math. It's actually possible that it goes well beyond that if we do hit some other benchmarks. But I like to say $20. It is a pretty bullish price target, but I do think that, you know, if we do achieve everything that we're currently working on, which is in the motions, it's definitely something we can do. And the reason why I kind of say that is when we look at, for example, at Bitcoin and the effect of the Bitcoin ETF on that cryptocurrency, we could see, like, especially during 2024, how Bitcoin, you know, gained billions of dollars in market cap from that alone, right? And during that same period of time where Bitcoin maybe went up 2-3x, we saw XRP go up, you know, 5x because, you know, whales would kind of recycle liquidity down to, you know, XRP after they got their Bitcoin gains. And it happens the other way around too. When people feel like XRP is no longer the thing to hold, they cycle it up to Bitcoin for more stability. But anyways, that because XRP is a much lower market cap, it can grow a lot faster during those periods of time, is my point. And so I do think that, you know, $20 is in the cards. If the ETFs get approved, if the Fed lowers rates, which I think is going to happen, looks like it, hopefully. And of course, if Hidden Road starts processing transactions through the XRP ledger, which they're aiming to do before the end of the year.
If he's right and we see like a $10 or $20 XRP, maybe we see 3, 4, 5 times that next cycle. Of course, the law of large numbers might come into effect where it's harder to move up the same X's or the same percentages each cycle. Some people are incredibly bullish though. Some people are saying, you know, we're going to get a $50 XRP or $100 or $1,000. I've seen people say we're going to get to $2,000 overnight, which, you know, some people say you don't understand XRP if you say that's impossible, but I've never seen anything like that happen. Even Bitcoin doesn't do stuff like that. And Bitcoin has been the number1 crypto throughout time. So there are some people that think it will go up to $100 if you had $100 XRP and you had 1,000 tokens, that'd be worth $100,000. That's down payment on the average house in America. Right? So maybe we'll get there. If it does, I think we're all going to be very happy. We're all going to be pretty rich at that point. Maybe you want to put some long positions in. Of course, I'm not selling you on that idea. I don't think that's really going to happen, to be clear. I don't think that's going to happen, but I still think XRP will do well this bull run. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. If you want to subscribe, great. If you want to trade crypto, great. Check out the link to BYDeFi. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see y'all soon. Bye.